Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Terry again, MMS Enterprises, CBHQ. Just going to do a small review on a radio that I think would be of great interest to some of you folks. Anyone out there that's looking for a high power radio that has a very small footprint, this radio could be for you. This is the President Ronald, and as you can see, it's very small. I have a photograph here of 1969 Grand Prix that I used to own, and that's just a standard photograph. If I set that on top, the photograph is actually longer, maybe not including the heatsink, but there is extra on both sides, very little, so it's not much bigger than an average photograph. So for you guys that are doing rock crawling in Jeeps and stuff like that, where you have space constraints, this thing is ideal. So it's actually a 10 meter radio, and I'm selling them converted. So it's converted to do 11 meters, which is the CB band. You still have the 10 meters in there. But either way, with that comes high power. So this radio will do over 55 watts of PEP, which is very impressive. And like I say, for you guys that are out in the desert or doing your four-wheeler runs and stuff like that and trying to communicate with each other, this would be just ideal. Or if you're in a vehicle and you just don't want to take up a whole lot of space, this is ideal as well. So first of all, we'll start with the mic. I mean, pretty standard mic for President. Very small. Has a channel up-down selection on the top, which is kind of nice. From there, you go into all the menus, everything else. So this radio has talkback. It has echo. It has ANL, which is automatic noise limiter. All that stuff. Another nice thing that it has is automatic squelch. So you'll see here it has ASC. As soon as I turn the squelch up, now if I turn the volume up too, ASC goes away. So now you're in manual control of the squelch. You turn it down all the way, automatic squelch comes back, and it's a really handy thing. I actually have a Richard in my pickup truck, and it works pretty cool. So you also have your they call them emergency channels, of course, but you can preset them to whatever you want them to be. So in my case, I'm a gravel hauler. I have a dump truck business, and so I'm always in and out of different pits. So the most popular pits that I deal with run on either channel 21 or channel 19. So I have those two set in my CB so that I don't have to go to a channel knob and start flipping around. And it just makes life a little bit easier, that's all. Just convenience. Now with this radio, it's multicolored. You'll have to excuse me, I think I have a cold. It's multicolored, and there's a lot of adjustments here, which can be easily accessed by just pushing the band button till you get the F signal. Once you got that, then you're into your menu here. I'm not sure if you can see it, my big finger's in the way. And it times out, by the way. Do that again. So that says band name. PA settings. Reset band. Color. So for instance, let's look at color. You just push that. So once you push that, then you can select. I'll try to get my hand out of the way. So there was green, there's blue. I guess that's supposed to be cypress, possibly. Yellow. Purple. Clear. And then back to red. Let's choose the green, because it will probably show up pretty good. So key beep. Key beep is what you're hearing when I'm doing this. You can actually shut that off if you don't want it. I don't mind key beep. Roger beep. Well, I've got it shut off here. That's a different story. If you want to use Roger beep, when you're transmitting, Roger beep is designed to say it's the end of your transmission. So at the end, it will always send a beep, and there is preset beeps in there that you can select. Usually, it's not the, how would I say it, most widely accepted thing. I mean, usually people know when you're done transmitting, but hey, whatever. Turns your crank, it's your radio. So again, now it's timed out. So we'll go push the band button, get the F key. So Roger beep, then your emergency settings A, or 1 and 2. This is again where you can set, 2 and 1. I'm gonna do it, try and do it with, get my fingers out of the way. 2 and 1. So this is where you can set what channels you want in there. The echo set, I mean, basically that's just something you got to fiddle around with, how much echo you want, time and delay, all the rest of that stuff. This is dual watch settings, the DW. It's if you want to watch 2 channels at once. I guess we timed it. We did. Oh. So then you got scan type, which is just, it will scan channels that are coming in. I mean, if you're really interested in finding somebody local, I guess if you're looking for, it timed out. If you were on the highway and you had an emergency and you were looking for someone to talk to, and someone that was within range, you would use that to find someone that was in range. Now, the only downside to that is there's a lot of guys, especially down south, that have such powerful amplifiers that they'll sound like they're right next door to you, but they're not, so you won't be able to transmit to them. But you can give it a try anyways. But anybody local, if you're on the highway, if there's a truck, whatever, he may be able to give you a hand. You will be able to find conversation on there. Then you have SWR. So this will just check your SWR for your antenna, help you set it. And it's actually kind of cool. Actually, we'll stop there because it's going to time out. But what it does is it sends a tone. And it gives you 5 minutes to adjust the radio, or adjust the antenna, sorry, to get the SWR into the best position. So that's what that does. Back into the F. Mic type. This is an electret microphone. If you want to run in a static or whatever, you can do that. You have to have it pre-wired because this is a 6-pin mic, but it will work, sure, no problem. You go into that setting and you change it over to dynamic, which again is no big deal. You just push the button, turn it, now it's set at dynamic. But we'll leave it at electric because that's what it's set for. Here's your mic gain. You push that, turn it up, turn it down. If you can see the line at the bottom. I apologize for my hands being in the way. Then, RF gain, same thing. Turn it up and down. Band name. So now that this is converted, it's on the correct frequency, we can push this. Right now that says the band is A. So let's just, for the sake of doing it, let's roll this around and just call it CB. Done. The band is renamed to CB. Your PA setting, that just has to do if you're going to run a PA speaker. Most people don't, but I guess you could. You get into the reset band stuff. Now, you can reset the band, or it's flashing band. You can reset all. So if you run into a situation where you get something set up and you can't figure out how to get it out, you can just go to reset all, and it basically takes everything and sets it back to factory parameters, and you start over again. So it's pretty simple that way. And then you're back to color. So we've ran through your menu. Now, again, and you can key the mic if you don't drop it at any time, and you'll get out of it. So again, you have your dual purpose buttons. So scan and dual watch are kind of in on the same thing. If you want to activate the echo, you key the mic, push that, and now you have echo. Along with some of the stuff over here. So you go into your FM band, AM. It kind of flops back and forth between FM and AM. It also dual purposes for your noise blanker and everything else. Your band is going to go through different bands here. So if you are a ham guy, you'll see the frequency counter changes with corresponding bands. However, the one I'm focused on is going to be A on this particular radio, which is CB. So with all that being said, just give me a half a second to adjust things here, and we'll get you up on some power meters. There, it'll let you kind of see what it's doing. So what I've got set up here, I have a bird meter, 50 watt slug. This one runs average power, or it's going to show average power. This actually is an RF tap, which goes over to the oscilloscope so I can look at the waves there. Then I've got another bird meter, and this one is set, this has a peak kit in it, so it's set with a 100 watt slug going into a dummy loop. So if I key it up, we can see right away that we have audio. Something turned down. Oh, we're on FM. That's what's going on. There we go. So there you can see your average power with a 50 watt slug is going to be the middle scale. Audio check, audio. So she's doing about 25 average, which is going to be your RMS wattage. You get over here to the peak kit, you're on the 100 watt slug, which is the bottom. Audio. And it's breaking 50 watts there without a problem. If you can see up to the oscilloscope, you'll see that it's transmitting nicely up there. Reasonable amount of waves going on. Everything looks good there. And that's about it, really. I mean, one thing I will say is that my 100 watt slug, I got a new one coming, and it's reading a little bit low. So if I take this and put this on to average power, again, average power is showing about audio 25 watts. Check, audio. And this one's showing about 18. So that's why I have a new slug coming. So in reality, I would say it's probably doing about 60 watts the way that it's set up right now. But again, this radio is ideal if you're somebody who has limited space and needs some something small that'll fit into, say, a console, a cubby, whatever you want to say. This would be an ideal radio for you. It does come with obviously several sets of instructions, and these menu-driven radios sometimes can be a little bit of a challenge. So make sure that you read that or go through it step by step. But it is very easy once you go through it step by step. Just before I go, I'll spin you around real quick here and just give you a look. So I've got Richards, I've got JFK's, Washington's, Ronald's, which is what we just did, Adams, Johnny's. I've also got Uniden, Bearcats, 980s, the TED down there, RCI 39 VHP Plus, one of my best sellers. That's a strong radio for anybody who wants a strong radio. And the Pro 520X or XL Unidens, little cheap radio. So there's a variety of what I have. I'm trying to get stocked more all the time. I hope you will take the time to subscribe to the channel. Give it a like. It's only my second video, and I apologize if it's a little bit choppy, but I've never claimed to be a movie star. So y'all have a good day. Take care. We'll talk again.